Deep within the rainforests of Africa, a silent predator lurks. Invisible to the naked eye, it is the Marburg virus. This deadly pathogen belongs to the filovirus family. Like Ebola, Marburg spreads through contact with infected bodily fluids. It is zoonotic, jumping from animals to humans. Fruit bats are the natural reservoir. Human-to-human transmission occurs through direct contact. Initial symptoms mimic other illnesses: fever, chills, headache, and muscle aches. The body is a fortress, constantly defending against invaders. The first line of defense against the Marburg virus is the skin and mucous membranes. However, the virus is cunning and can exploit breaches in these barriers, entering through cuts, abrasions, or even microscopic tears. Once inside, the virus targets cells that are essential for immune defense: macrophages and dendritic cells. These immune cells are like sentinels, patrolling the body for foreign invaders. They engulf and destroy pathogens, alerting the rest of the immune system to the threat. However, the Marburg virus turns these defenders against the body. It hijacks the cellular machinery of macrophages and dendritic cells, using them as factories to produce more virus particles. The virus also suppresses the immune response, preventing the body from mounting an effective defense. It interferes with the production of cytokines, signaling molecules that are crucial for coordinating the immune response. This allows the virus to replicate unchecked, spreading throughout the body and causing widespread damage. The Marburg virus, a master of deception, infiltrates the body's defenses, hijacking its cellular machinery for replication. Its RNA carries the blueprint for proliferation. It commandeers ribosomes to produce viral proteins. New viruses bud from the cell, ready to infect others. The virus employs strategies to evade the immune system. It camouflages by shedding its glycoprotein coat. As the virus multiplies, it spreads through the body like wildfire. It enters the bloodstream and lymphatic system, reaching distant organs and tissues. The liver, spleen, and lymph nodes, key players in the immune system, become major battlegrounds. Here, the virus continues its relentless assault, infecting and destroying cells, further weakening the body's defenses. The immune system, overwhelmed by the viral onslaught, mounts a desperate but ultimately futile counterattack. It releases a flood of cytokines, signaling molecules that trigger inflammation. This inflammatory response, intended to contain the infection, instead becomes a double-edged sword. It leads to widespread damage to blood vessels, causing them to leak fluid and blood. This leakage is the hallmark of hemorrhagic fever. It disrupts the body's ability to regulate blood pressure, leading to a dangerous drop in blood volume. Organs, starved of oxygen and nutrients, begin to fail. The body enters a state of shock, a downward spiral that can quickly lead to death. The Marburg virus doesn't just attack the immune system, it wages war on the very foundation of the circulatory system, the endothelial cells. These cells form a delicate lining within blood vessels, acting as a barrier between the blood and surrounding tissues. They play a crucial role in regulating blood flow, preventing clotting, and maintaining vascular integrity. However, the virus infects and damages these vital cells, compromising the integrity of blood vessels. The once smooth lining becomes rough and inflamed, disrupting blood flow and promoting clot formation. Blood vessels become leaky, allowing fluids and blood to seep into surrounding tissues. This leakage manifests as the horrifying hemorrhagic symptoms characteristic of Marburg virus disease. Patients may experience bleeding from multiple sites, including the nose, gums, eyes, and gastrointestinal tract. Internal bleeding can occur in the lungs, brain, and other vital organs, leading to organ damage and failure. The body's own clotting mechanisms are also disrupted, leading to a paradoxical combination of bleeding and clotting. The relentless assault of the Marburg virus takes a devastating toll on the body. As the virus spreads unchecked, it infects and damages multiple organs. The liver, responsible for filtering toxins from the blood, succumbs to the viral onslaught. The kidneys, crucial for maintaining fluid balance, shut down. The lungs, essential for oxygen exchange, fill with fluid. The brain, the command center of the body, is not spared. Viral encephalitis, inflammation of the brain, can lead to seizures, coma, and ultimately death. The heart, weakened by the overall stress on the body and the lack of oxygen, struggles to maintain blood pressure. The body, overwhelmed by the combined effects of viral infection, immune overactivation, and organ failure, begins to shut down. The patient may experience delirium, seizures, and coma. Death, often swift and merciless, is the tragic outcome in a significant proportion of cases. A race against time, early detection, and supportive care. In the face of such a formidable foe, early detection and supportive care are paramount. Recognizing the non-specific early symptoms and their potential link to Marburg virus exposure is crucial. Prompt isolation of suspected cases and implementation of strict infection control measures are essential to prevent further spread. Treatment for Marburg virus disease is primarily supportive, aimed at managing symptoms and supporting vital organ function. Patients require intensive care, including intravenous fluids to combat dehydration and electrolyte imbalances, medications to control fever and pain, and blood transfusions to address bleeding. Experimental therapies such as antiviral drugs and antibody treatments are being investigated, but their effectiveness remains uncertain. Vaccines are also under development, offering hope for future prevention strategies. However, until these treatments become widely available, supportive care remains the mainstay of management. The frontline are implications for healthcare providers. For healthcare providers, confronting the Marburg virus is a daunting task. The virus's high infectivity and lethality, coupled with the lack of specific treatments, make it a formidable threat. Healthcare workers are at increased risk of exposure, particularly those involved in direct patient care, laboratory work, and handling of infected materials. Strict adherence to infection control protocols is paramount. Personal protective equipment, including gowns, gloves, masks, and eye protection, must be worn at all times when interacting with suspected or confirmed cases. Proper handling and disposal of contaminated materials are crucial to prevent the spread of the virus. Healthcare providers must also be aware of the psychological toll that caring for such patients can take. The fear of contracting the virus, witnessing the suffering of patients, and the high mortality rate can lead to stress, anxiety, and burnout. Providing psychological support and counseling services to healthcare workers is essential to ensure their well-being. The unending battle, research and future directions. Despite the challenges, scientists and researchers around the world are engaged in an ongoing battle against the Marburg virus. Their efforts are focused on understanding the virus's biology, developing effective treatments, and creating vaccines to prevent future outbreaks. Research into the virus's structure, replication cycle, and mechanisms of immune evasion is crucial for identifying potential drug targets. Antiviral drugs that can inhibit viral replication or boost the immune response are being investigated. Monoclonal antibodies, laboratory-produced molecules that can neutralize the virus, are also being explored as potential treatments. Vaccine development is another area of intense research. Several vaccine candidates are in various stages of development, including those based on inactivated viruses, viral proteins, and viral vectors. These vaccines aim to stimulate the immune system to produce antibodies that can protect against future infection. A global threat, preparedness and response. The Marburg virus, though primarily found in Africa, is a global health threat. The interconnectedness of the modern world means that an outbreak in one part of the world can quickly spread to others through international travel and trade. Global preparedness and coordinated response are essential to contain outbreaks and prevent pandemics. This includes strengthening surveillance systems to detect cases early, establishing rapid response teams to investigate and control outbreaks, and ensuring access to essential medical supplies and equipment. Public health education is crucial to raise awareness about the virus, its transmission routes, and preventive measures. Community engagement is essential to promote safe burial practices, reduce contact with wildlife, and encourage early reporting of symptoms. The fight against the Marburg virus is a shared responsibility, requiring collaboration and commitment from governments, healthcare providers, researchers, and the global community.